Namaskaram, I am Sushma Ranganathan, and we are here today to speak about Sanskrit drama and dance technique. We are all here members of Samskrita Ranga, an organization founded by the illustrious Sanskrit scholar Padma Vibhushan Dr. V. Raghavan when he started as early as 1958. For the kind of passion he had for Sanskrit, he wanted the commoner to even know about the language. So, what was the most powerful medium, and he thought that Sanskrit theatre would be a very powerful medium. So, he started Samskrita Ranga and started staging very popular plays of the great poets and kavis. And today here we are, Shri P.G. Subramanian, he is Bhavan's Rajaji Vidyashram principal. I have Dr. Ramchandra Shekhar, he is the production head of Giri Trading Agency Private Limited, and myself Sushma Ranganathan. I am CEO Surang Studios and also a Bharatanatyam artist, student of Srimati Nandini Ramani, who happens to be the daughter of the illustrious Sanskrit scholar Dr. V. Raghavan. I have grown up seeing Samskrita Ranga staging their plays right from a very young age. I have seen my grandfather directing plays. I have seen my mother enacting a lot of important roles, and it has been there in the family. The flavor of Sanskrit has always been there in the family. So it was not a very surprising element that I got also drawn towards an acting in Samskrita Ranga's plays. So as early as 1985, 86, 87, when I was in my 9th, 10th standard, I started doing this little dance elements, portions that were there in Swapna Vasavadattam, Kundamala plays, and that's how I got drawn into Sanskrit theatre. I'm sure here both of them, they had their own experiences when we all joined together. But what has made us still linger upon is the interesting way we have experienced theatre and how we expressed ourselves, and that one important aspect was the dance element which got incorporated into our acting skills. So tell me, P.G. Subramaniam, your experiences.
Thank you, Sushma. I think it was really a great experience. In fact, I think when we go down memory lane, it is almost 3 decades, I can say. I have been associated with Samskrita Ranga, and I think I owe a lot to all my gurus and the predecessors and the actors and directors with whom we were associated. In fact, myself and Sushma and few other senior actors, we've been associated for I think 33 years nearly. And I started, in fact, if I remember, I started my first play with a contemporary play called Vimukti.
By my grandfather.
By your grandfather,
Dr. V. Raghavan.
Right, Dr. V. Raghavan. I did a role of Shundala, which represents a nose. It was a very small role. Though it was a very small role, I had a different kind of experience. And I think if I remember right, my second major play was Ascharya Chudamani, in which I think I can say that today's topic, which we are talking, there was a lot of dance technique being used in that play, Ascharya Chudamani by Shakti Bhadra. I did the role of Lakshmana in that play. In fact, Ram can throw a light on dance techniques being used in Sanskrit plays. In fact, I think he is the right person to...
Yeah, but I would like to add, because I remember my mother telling me, Nandini Ramani, she telling me that my grandfather used to have these elements of dance technique when he used to also direct. And it maybe in a more lesser degree, maybe more of prominence was given to the spoken dialogues. But later on, when Dr. S.S. Janaki took over after my grandfather, when his student Dr. S.S. Janaki and Dr. C.S. Sundaram started directing the plays along with my mother's inputs, and she also started co-directing the whole thing. We started having this theatre concept called Vedika, Parnashala, and
that's what I was just telling Sushma. I think the 3 kinds of Angika, Vachika, and Ahari, Abhinas, how it was being used in Sanskrit plays. I think Ram can just throw a more light on that. Then we can just
you first tell the relevance of the
Natya Shastra theatre being used. In fact, yes, Ram, please.
Thank you. Actually, it has been a pleasure and it's a great experience, a learning experience rather. And I have seen in the older photographs of Kalidas Mama, who happened to be Dr. Raghavan's elder son, and also Premadatta, she is the elder sister of Srimati Nandini Ramani. I have only seen them perform in the photographs. I think Akka would have
Even I have also seen those photographs,
Yeah.
which I've really cherished those
So
photographs.
it's a great pedagogy in which
In fact, I just love the in the in Shakuntala Thoda Dharbankurena, her pose is very my aunt Premada's pose is a very famous
Premada auntie's pose is very
before
famous.
which got them the Swarna Kalasham in the year 1961 from the Kalidas festival.
So I think Amma did the role of Bharata, if
Yes,
I'm right. The
correct.
young Bharata.
Young
and
Bharata.
Nandini Ramani did the role of young Bharata, if I'm right. Yes.
So I can see some small elements of the dance technique employed in those things, but you have to give us more relevance to the
True.
the textual interpretation.
When I joined, my first play was Anarkali. I still remember I was in college doing my undergrad in Sanskrit. Dr. V. Abhiram Sundaram, he just came and in his deep voice he said, Ram, இன்னைக்கு சாயங்காலம் ஒரு ரிஹர்சலுக்கு போகலாம் வரியா? Like I was just fresh out of school, so the idea of drama didn't mature in my mind more than a skit which we used to enact in the schools. So we entered into the Sanskrit college premises where the rehearsals were on. The play was Anarkali, and when I entered, Dr. S.S. Janaki was directing one of the rehearsals, and she looked at me and she said, okay, we will have him as Veeravara. Veeravara is basically Birbal, so it's Anarkali is a Mughal period play. So I thought, okay, but the first day I was sitting in the rehearsal, I understood that maybe I'm not made for this. Because the kind of extensive detailing to which Dr. S.S. Janaki went into, she would enact every line of each and every character to show them how to do it. It was at that point something struck. We have been reading in our college syllabus the different dramas and also theories of dramas. But until unless we see they practiced, the idea cannot be understood or even appreciated. So that was the first time I realized that it's a great deal is being missed today in syllabus when we do not have the prayoga. We are only having the shastra, we are not having the prayoga.
That's what people say, no, hands-on experience. So
True.
that thing, you're coming to that point.
Actually, I am reminded of one quotation by Shri Abhinav Gupta. Is very fortunate. I think it's we celebrated Abhinav Gupta's 1004th birth anniversary 4 days back. It was Nirjala Ekadashi.
Yeah, Nirjala Ekadashi, correct.
So he states that it is very, very prudent to preserve the sampradaya along with sampradaya. By the word sampradaya, it is meant as the practical sampradaya, along with the theory. So even at the time of his composition of Abhinav Bharati, there seems to be a lot of loss, or there seems to be a big gap wherein what has been mentioned in the Natya Shastra and what has been in practice has been there has been a lot of gap. So basically, when it comes to the Abhinaya, we all know the famous equation of the Natya with the Veda, wherein the 4 elements of the Natya have been compared or have been derived from the 4 different Vedas. For example, the Patha, that is the text, has been derived from the Rig Veda, from the Yajur, the Abhinaya part, from the Samaveda, the music, and the most important, the Rasa, from the Atharva Veda. So this is merely a textual reference in the Natya Shastra, but we find a very beautiful analogy in Malavikagnimitram of Kalidasa, wherein he compares the Natya with the Yajna itself. He says, Kantam Kratum Chakshisham, wherein it's a beautiful Yajna which can be appreciated through eyes. This is exactly the translation of these 3 lines. So until as we have the experience of witnessing a drama, a classical Sanskrit drama in its pristine form, as the Sanskrit Ranga has been doing, we cannot appreciate many of the nuances of the texts or many of the nuances which have been explained in the commentaries of texts of let's say Shakuntalam by Raghava Bhatta, wherein he gives certain abhinayas to be used in a particular place. Akka, you would remember during that the Vriksha Sechana,
Pushpaputam, that thing, and then you have to do it from here. And then I remember Dr. Janaki and my mother going through the Raghava Bhatta commentary and using the appropriate hand gestures to teach myself, Priyambada and Anasuya, the Sakhis, what kind of hand gestures have to be used. So when PG,
I remember
that. And how also the intermediate actions, because that's one more interesting analogy that I would like to make here is that most of the Sanskrit plays, the male characters have more dialogues when compared to the female characters. So then what happens to the essence, or how effective will the female characters be? At that point of time, the dance technique comes in and plays a very big role, and if you are a dancer, you will be able to use your technique in a very effective manner. So in that case, in that way, I was very fortunate because I have learned the dance technique from my mother. And in between, when there are dialogue happening between the other two people in conversation, at that time I can show suitable actions which will lead me to the next dialogue. So the pretext context, I'll be able to do the link actions. And that kind of methodology was so very useful for me, not only in the aspect of in the play, but also when it came to addressing it in my dance practice. Whenever I used to do it, it helped me a lot to kind of where to stop being melodramatic and where to be very natural as an actor, because as a dancer, you tend to walk on stage like a dancer and come, but there you have to be an actor, you can't be a dancer.
You can't do that in the play, in the drama. In fact, Sushma, I agree with you, and also I would like to just make a note here that not only though female characters have a less of dialogue and more scope for gestures, I think also in Sanskrit plays, though the male characters had lot of dialogues, I think we also had the scope for showing gestures, because, abhinaya. In fact, in Ashcharya Chudamani, when I did the role of Lakshmana, I think the introductory scene.
I remember my mother teaching him the
Jyagoshena. There was a beautiful sloka where Lakshmana just builds the.
I think you should do it and
Lakshmana
show.
builds the Parnashala for Rama and Sita. Jyagoshena Nira. I think it just goes on with. I think it is. I think Rama, you will agree with me that in that verse we have all the 3 kinds of abhinayas.
True.
Angika, Vachika, and Aharya. So Aharya is very well there. It's always there. So Angika and Vachika is also there, which is a major part of your dance technique. I think that was a beautiful place. I think in that Ashcharya Chudamani, that was the first scene where Lakshmana used to enter onto the stage and do a beautiful, it was, the sloka was recited at the back with a beautiful music, and I still remember doing
the verse that you are referring, the Jyagoshena, it plays such an important role in that particular play that the first act itself is called as the Parnashalankam.
Parnashalankam, correct.
Correct, exactly.
In fact, that's a beautiful one. In fact, it just goes on. Jyagoshena nirakaromi bhayada. So, I think these are the small gestures where we have to have a control as we do on a stage for a drama. That will be totally different, will be being done by a dancer onto a stage.
See, I can draw a line. See, I remember this famous court scene in Shakuntalam, where I'm narrating a very, I'm trying to tell Dushyanta that giving him incidents and where we both of us met, and so that he will be able to recollect the love. So I say, ekasmin divase navamalika mandape नलिनीपत्र भाजनगत मुदकं तव हस्ते समीपम् आसीत् तत्क्षणे समे पुत्रकृतः दीर्घापाङ्गो नाम मृगपोतकः उपस्थितः. See, these are all the actions that I used to do, but whereas if I'm a dancer, I can say ekasmin divase navamalika mantape नलिनीपत्र भाजनगत मुदकं तव हस्ते samipam asit, tat kshane, same putra. There are so many actions if I have to do as a dancer, but when it comes to enacting, it is very subtle. But at the same time, we use the important hand gestures which denote the important dialogues, so that people can be able to relate as to what I am actually trying to say.
I think that has also been indicated by many of the authors and commentators for the gestures to be used while it is being staged on the play. That is how we just did that Ashcharya Chudamani or Shakuntalam, or the Anarkali contemporary play also. We used to use a lot of gestures also.
In this context, I would like to mention one of the articles. Rather, it's actually, you should say it's almost like a treatise, which was written by Dr. V. Raghavan. It's called as Uparupakas and Nritya Prabandhas. In that, he draws a great deal of history of the origin of the current dance, which is actually derived from the Uparupakas. Whereas the Natya that we are speaking about, there are 10 types of dramas which we call as Rupakas, in which the Natakam is one of the most important form of the Rupakas. Right. The difference between a Rupaka and the Uparupaka, there are many, but the prominent difference is that in the Rupakas there will be multiple characters, in the Uparupakas there will be only one character. So at the end, you can see that whatever I am summarizing for Uparupaka will be very much applicable to the dance which is being staged today. In the Rupaka, there will be a lot of stress on the Vachika. There will be a lot of stress on the dialogue portion along with the action. Whereas in the Uparupakas, the Vachika will be very minimal or it will be absent. It's there in the background, not by the character himself or herself on the stage. The third is the use of the Abhinaya, especially the Angika Abhinaya. In the Rupakas, the Angika Abhinaya has to be used very, very judiciously, in the sense depending on three things, namely the character. If the character is the Uttama Patra, or the higher or the more cultured characters like the king or the Pandita or that kind of characters, then the Hasta Mudras have to be very, very minimal.
Yeah, I remember.
I think right, Sushma, I think if I am right, I think we cannot show a Suchi on a king.
Yeah, you have to show Pataka.
In fact.
You have to show Pataka. And only of your age, or of your stature, in that kind of your friend, that kind of, then you can talk with a Suchi. Else you have to have a Pataka if you're addressing a sage, if you're addressing a king, of a learned people, and then you have to, that kind of, that element was taught to us so very, it was actually, I should say, ingrained in us. Now today, when we just go and stand on stage and to act, it automatically comes to us. And that technique looks like, we ourselves are a little bit of our own, dancers in our own way, because it kind of has got ingrained within us. In fact, Rama, I have to tell you this, even in these most dramatic plays and also these kind of Mattavilasa Prahasanam, in all that, where there was more scope for melodrama, even there we kind of try to bring in a little bit of dance element of the hand gestures for people to, though it was done in a very, very colloquial manner, but still I think, I remember both of us doing we acted like drunkards.
In fact, when we just used to describe about the Kanchipuram in the Mattavilasa Prahasanam, I think we used to use a lot of hand gestures.
And most important thing was, there was no object in front of us. So we had to imagine that somebody was there in front of us, and we have to show that they are doing that action, and we have to say the dialogue. So I used to enact, and he used to say the dialogue. So it was unless and until you have that bit of that dance element, the audience will not be able to understand what we are actually trying to convey, unless and until you are very, very well versed in Sanskrit. So even at that point of time, we used these kind of these kind of dance element at the right proportion and to explain what we were actually trying to say.
Very nice.
Yeah, that is also there. And
I think Rama, you remember that in Valmiki Pratibha, that is, we had a soliloquy for a male character in Sanskrit drama is quite common.
Yeah.
In fact, when you take Vikramorvashiyam or any kind of plays, we have, and even Anarkali, the Salim's
Anarkali soliloquy was
Anarkali soliloquy and Salim's one. And I remember still me doing the Valmiki Pratibha, the last part where I used to go in search of a Saraswati who just appeared before me as a light. That was a wonderful, where I could use so many gestures, abhinayas and the dance gestures incorporate into it. And I think I really owe a lot to Nandini Amma, in fact, who taught me how to do that, in fact.
See, it was not only learning the hand gestures, but how to keep on reiterating it and to establish it, and then not to repeat the actions.
True.
That was very, very important. So knowing the dance technique, we were able to teach him or the way you don't need to repeat your actions, and you can use
you can
the
actually create new symbols. Though our Shastras have already prescribed the Hastamudras and the other the Charis and Karnas and all those things, but it has also given us a great deal of freedom to innovate. There is in fact a statement made by Abhinav Gupta in Abhinav Bharti, wherein he says, Abhinayakaraha tu ye tu iha te anyatra api arthataha sadhyaha akritya cheshtya चिन्नहि जात्या विज्ञाय स्वयं वितर्क्य कर्तव्यम हस्ताभिनयम बुधहि. In the sense that the actors on the stage can innovate and they can use gestures, but the appropriateness of the gesture has to be decided based on the shape of the object which you have observed in the world. Secondly, the class to which it belongs, and the symbols which are usually associated with that particular object. So if we are able to come up with a hasta abhinaya, or if we are able to come up with the abhinaya which can match with that object, we are free to incorporate that in the natya. So that freedom of innovating new
I think I agree with this. I think we've been using this in our plays.
True.
I think,
without even understanding much of it.
Without diluting our tradition.
See, the Natyam Lokanukrutihi, this is the statement made by Bharata Muni. The Natya is nothing but an imitation of the world. So basically we need to have those objects or that symbols which will be understood by the people on the stage. So for example, for a Chandra we cannot show something with which they cannot correlate
Chandra,
at all.
I think we are supposed to do Ardha Chandra.
Basically Ardha Chandra you will be able to understand or correlate because of the sign of the crescent.
Correct.
So this is what Abhinav Gupta says, that Jatya, Akriti. So there has to be a correlation. And so seeing this, people will be in a position to better relate it with the object they have seen in the world.
Actually, on a lighter note, in the Valmiki Pratibha scene, because he was a human being. Valmiki is
he was a Ratnakara. He was a thief.
So he was, full of action, using his bodily movement and then showing all the action. What was that?
Shyame kutra antarhitasi mataha. From Manchit, it's like that dialogue goes, and I used to use the entire stage running around here
and the light, and
see the light, and
he was feeling like this, all this action and feeling the tapa and all this, and like that. I am a dancer, but I was all curved, and I was hand tied because I was Saraswati. So I had to be only very, very, very minimal movement I had. So I said, Vatsa, yavad himadrihi sthasyati. And this fellow was, I was feeling
and finally used to give me Grihana Imam Veena.
And the utmost hand gesture I did was like, Grihana, Madiyam Veena, Dadami te upaharam, Yavad Gatumichasi, Imam Sadahitva, Dvanishyanti, Etasyaha, Tantraya. That's all I had. Just this one, that. But this fellow had, so much of movement, and I had such constrained movement.
I think that reminds me how beautifully we were taught to use the entire stage, the stage management, the space of the entire stage. We were taught how to use it judiciously.
Also, because of this Parnashala movement and all that, this hand movement helped us in great deal, because it showed this place was forest. This place was the pathway to lead to another place. So we were able to show the hand gestures, breeze, the birds are chirping. It's very nice. So many trees, like that. And then there is a lake. We kind of started showing everything and used to go.
Sushma, I think when we are talking about the stage management, I'm reminded of the Natya Shastra stage, which we just, I think, initially, I think Dr. S.S. Janaki with
Dr. Govardhan
Panchal and Amma also, all three of them together I think they just conceived that Natya Shastra stage with the Vedika, Ranga Sirsham, Ranga Madhyam, and all those things. How beautifully we used for, I think many Shakuntalam.
Shakuntalam was the first one where we used
it.
Because it was very, very essential.
Shakuntalam or Ashcharya Chudamani? I think
Ashcharya
Chudamani was the first play we used that stage. And subsequently we used for Shakuntalam.
Ashcharya Chudamani was a very, very challenging thing for us because we had to show on Maya Rama, Maya Sita, because Ravana,
I think we had two Ravanas, two Ramas, two Lakshmanas,
so
two
the
Sitas,
central
and
platform,
also two, if I am right.
Okay, just on that point, the reason why we are having the Natya Shastra prescribes that kind of stage, wherein there is a difference of there is a spatial difference. The stage itself is divided into 4 parts. There will be 2 Matavarinis on the either side. There is a Ranga Shirsha and there is a Ranga Pitha. And the entrance will always be not from the sides in Sanskrit drama. It will be from the behind. So
you have to go from one end and then you have to.
So basically the stage is divided because in drama there are 2 concepts which are very, very important. One is unity of time and unity of space.
Correct.
That is when we divide usually not many people understand the difference between an act and a scene. A scene is within the act.
Correct.
And what is the difference between an act and a scene? The act is something which describes the events within a period of a particular time. It can be like say a morning hours or which has happened in one single day, or it can even be a week or a month, but doesn't matter. But everything that happens within a particular set period of time, that is actually the anka or the act. Within that we have the drishya or the scenes. The scenes are governed by the unity of space. That is all those things which are happening within a spatial a limited space or in a particular place. Those have to be shown in that particular scene. So when there is a change of place, there is a change of scene also. So to show this, and we all have to remember that we have already, Akka had already said that there is no stage props used in the Sanskrit drama. So the beauty of that is that it is with the help of the abhinayas that is shown by the actors, the connoisseur or the spectator can imagine to his heartfelt level.
I think Rama, I think I'm reminded of that scene where in Ashcharya Chudamani, where Ravana used to abduct Sita and just get onto the cloud, where from the cloud he used to see the Maya Rama or
actual Rama and the
Maya Sita there. I think we could show the space, as you rightly said, now the space differentiation, where that scene would happen on to the Vedika or the Ranga Pitha, and the original Rama and the Maya Sita would be on the down where. So we were able to show the difference between the stage.
And also, not just this thing. There are some important scenes in Shakuntalam when you will be hiding behind the tree.
Correct.
Actually, there is no tree. Please remember this. There is no tree, absolutely nothing
we
on
just
the
show
stage.
actions like this.
So, Anna will be hiding, there is Dushyanta will be hiding behind a tree, Shakuntala will be on a different place. So from there, that is on the stage, the Dushyanta will be shown in one particular area. It would be either of the 2 Matavarinis. And the Shakuntala will be on the
dialogue.
So
Yavadatra Gachami.
Yes.
I will show a tree.
So
Yavadatra Gachami. I will just show there and I will just get on to that place. I think I still remember that I used to hide behind the tree as Ram said.
So there also we would be using the abhinayas like entering into or moving the branches and going behind the tree. All those things will be shown only through abhinayas.
Anarkali, I used to search that deer. So I used to go inside the bush search like this and then come back.
Fact, in Shakuntalam, I am reminded of that bee scene. I used to be hidden behind the tree there.
Even the bee was only imaginative.
When I see and enjoy the Shakuntala's beauty from the behind the tree, and when I see a bee being troubling Shakuntala, I just come out of behind the tree and just try to help out Shakuntala. That was a beautiful
scene. But the most difficult scene was the 4th scene. because
Yeah.
we had to show stages of the forest and finally come to the end of the forest. So the traveling of from the hermitage to the end of the forest was a very big arduous task, because we had to
And
show.
also, Sushma, I think the last scene where Bharata used to, beautiful little Bharata used to play with a lion cub, in fact, where Yavat Danta and Ganayishye. So I think that was again showed by only action. As Ram rightly said, we don't have any props on stage in Sanskrit plays. In fact, be any character for that matter, everything was imaginary, everything was shown with just hand gestures.
Actually, this is one of the most important factor which contributed to a development of an entire aesthetic theory called Rasadhwani.
Correct.
According to the Sanskrit poetics, the beauty of any play or any literary work is in suggestion, not in explicit statements. So anything that is suggested adds or gives the highest beauty. So all the rasa has to be only suggested to the Kanaija. So without these props, through the Hasta Abhinayas and the Angika Abhinayas, especially the Satvika Abhinayas, when something is suggested to the spectator, it is left to him to imagine whatever he can. For example, as you said, when we were enacting the Matta Vilasa Prahasana, you were describing yourself, and Naka would be Kapalika and the Kapalika Stri, describing the beauty of Kanchipura. Though in the Vachika part, there will be the description, but it is left to the person to imagine how tall the mansions will be, how many rows of flowers are decorating the mansions, and how beautiful the entire highway leading to the important places of worship in Kanchipuram. It's all left to the imagination of the spectators. So that is actually one of the important aspects why we don't have a stage prop on.
Actually we weave a visual imagery for people to understand and perceive it in the mind. That is the kind of rasa element. I think we are in turn trying to educate the audience to be very imaginative and creative about what we are trying to portray on stage, rather than spilling it over and giving it in a very vyaktama kamikarathukku badala it's a kind of aesthetica we've been able to show, and people have been able to understand the rasa. Because I remember when we are doing the fourth scene and all that, I remember people actually crying there sitting in the audience.
Yeah, that's what. In the fourth scene of Shakuntalam, even people, I've seen many people cry, literally tears rolling out of their eyes, in fact.
There was no props, only action and only dialogue. And just the space, we used to just keep walking from place to place. That's all. It will be like a train. People just used to, but still we were able to evoke the audience with the right rasa, and they used to feel with Kanva and Shakuntalam.
I'm just going back again. I think you lately you did the role of Saraswati in Valmiki, but initially when we started earlier, the first you did the role of Balika, where Halasyam sir.
Both of us did our stage for the first time.
Halasyam sir did the role of Valmiki, and Dr. Abhirama Sundaram, Balu, they all did the role of the thieves. I think I still remember that we used to dance that Kali, Shama, with that small little steps which were very difficult
also,
for few people.
They used to,
It's a beautiful. Another thing is that this is my personal experience. To play a minor character is the toughest thing in Sanskrit drama, because you will be on the stage throughout. You will have to do something on the stage, but you cannot do anything which will actually disturb the entire beauty of it.
When I go back, in fact, I'm reminded of this Anarkali play where I did 3 roles. In fact, I did 3 roles. In fact, in Anarkali, though it was only minor roles, I did 3 roles. It was a fabulous play. I think one of the best production I would.
Anarkali. My grandfather's Anarkali. It won the.
Tata's one of the best
it won the Madhya Pradesh, Uttar Pradesh state awards for national integration. How the Hindustani and South Indian classical dance was incorporated. It's very.
And in fact, on the Akbar, Dr. Abhirama Sundaram and the Gambiramana choral, Ranganathan's that beautiful singing,
dance,
and you dancing to the tunes of.
Actually, I used to.
Pundarika Vittal, if I'm right.
Yes.
I think I'm reminded. I think Birbal, you did the role of Birbal once, and previously I think Dr. Sriram Parashuram also did the role of.
No, he was Tansen.
He was a Tansen.
But the beauty was a Dinilahi scene where all the Mata Pitadibadis, they were all sitting, and even for those people who could not even do one single action, we have taught them dance technique to show very important actions, which was very, very vital.
The Deen Ilahi scene, just as an additional information, the scene was conceptualized based on a painting which professor found in London Museum, if I am right, wherein the court scene of Akbar is depicted, wherein around Akbar there are leaders of different religious sects seated. So seeing this, professor was inspired to write the first act, that is the Deen Ilahi scene, wherein you have all the the beauty of Dr. Raghavan's writing is that they are all authentic. So when there is character which is being stated, the character actually existed, and there are literary records to show that a character existed.
Like
For
Pundarika
example,
Vitala.
Pundarika
Pundarika
Vitala is a
Vitala,
very famous author. Even minor characters, like there would be one Christian father, Rodolfo Acquaviva.
Guaveva,
Yeah.
correct.
So even his name is referred in one of the inscriptions of Mughal times.
That much of
that's-
passion he had towards the language.
Even
and
the soliloquy, I had very minimal time to go have a dress change and come back. That soliloquy was so difficult, in spite of the fact that I'm a female and I can also do a lot of actions, but there was so much of emotion, and because I had to show the ring had poison in it, and you know, it's a lengthy soliloquy I used to have, but still the soliloquy, when it comes to soliloquy, which I think you should also share your experiences as to how you kind of incorporated the dance technique in that, and how you were able to portray it effectively.
in fact, that's what I was just telling about this, the last scene of this Valmiki Pratibha, where the actor had the freedom based on the dialogue, which were, in fact, as Ram rightly pointed out, I was able to do show gestures related to the dialogues I was using there, in fact, which would relate to it, in fact. So, Shyame, when I searched the goddess everywhere, Shyame Kutra Antarhita, I was searching like this, and just and when I see a light coming through, when I saw a light coming through, and when I'm able to see something in the light, I used to just show like this and do. So this freedom was given to all the actors onto the stage. That was the main part, and definitely I have to place on record here the tips or the guidance given by the directors, Dr. S.S. Janaki or Nandini Amma, or even senior most people who with whom we have acted. In fact, I think I would rather say we were all blessed to being acted with senior most people like Dr. C.S.S. Sundaram, Dr. Abhirama Sundaram, and I think those people, starting from Professor, I think they've been carrying the legacy of Dr. V. Raghavan, Dr. S.S. Janaki,
Because,
and
when
Nandini Ramani, the daughter of Dr. V. Raghavan, and the people, their professors, assistants like Dr. C.S.S. Sundaram, and now I think Sushma is also carrying that legacy.
All of us are, because we all become pros.
We're all blessed to being guided and by those
From where,
eminent people.
from where to where, you know, from
Where
when
to
I did
where.
my first scene as Balika, I did it so much like how a dancer would do. So for me to cut from that part and not be a dancer but be an actor was a very big transition. And that was very, very difficult for me. You know, automatically your hand will either go here and show something like this, but yeah, your hand has to be here. And when you walk or when you stand, or it can't be too dance-like. It has to be, and you can't flutter your eyes, and you can't look like that.
I still remember Amma used to correct, even when we used to do all kind of when it is going little beyond like a dance, Amma used to correct, no, in drama like pridam pannano.
அதுதான் that's what the thing is. நம்ம வந்து நிறைய தியரிஸ் வந்து படிச்சுடுறோம். ஃபார் எக்ஸாம்பிள் நாட்டிய சாஸ்திரமோ அதோட கமெண்ட்ரிஸ் எத்தனை வேணா படிக்கலாம். பட் until unless you have actually seen something enacted based on those principle, அதோட டெப்த், அந்த அண்டர்ஸ்டாண்டிங் இஸ் வெரி வெரி திங். இப்போ இந்த ஒரு சாலிலாக்கி சொல்லும்போது I have not done any soliloquy in my 20 years service.
You are blessed. You are blessed.
Oh my goodness.
You are
have done
blessed.
so many soliloquies.
So, but I remember one soliloquy. it is actually the Vikrama Roshi Solilaki, wherein Vikrama or Pururuvas, he finds he is actually in a state of lovelornness, having lost Urvashi. Then he sees a particular he is actually blessed with one moonstone or a stone, a Chintamani thing, with the grace of Chandra. And there is a most famous verse, Tanvi Megha Jalardhar Pallavataya. So in that, there is such a high, you are actually high on Satvika Bhava. There, in that particular state, how to control your entire body movement and have the most minimal actions to be depicted. This is actually a very great challenge for dancers more so, and for even a regular actor. So when I saw, it was at that particular time I was actually also reading the Abhinaya Bharati. I was reminded, or actually I saw in practice what Abhinav Gupta says when he says, Jeshthe Abhinaye Pratyaksha Vartamana Atmajnastha Vishaye Hastavyaparaha Alpaha. You have to have the minimum Hastavyapara when you are having a Jeshta Abhinaya. Jeshta Abhinaya means when you are doing a very serious kind of situation.
Correct.
I think to sum it up, I think what importantly we need to talk about, think when it comes to dance, Samskrita drama and the dance technique is that auchitya, the propriety with which you need to employ.
Before we sum it up, we have to throw a little light on the music being used.
Yes,
that contribution of music, because when we talk about dance techniques being used, music plays a very vital role.
And the suitable ragas which my grandfather had put for keeping very, very great stalwarts like Mudigandan Venkatramaiah and B. Krishnamurti, Srimati R. Vedavalli and all that, and they have kind of formed all these things, and that has helped us to emote in a very well. So like what, as you quoted Malavika Agnimitram also in Prayoga Pradhanam Kalu Natya Shastram. So there you have to have the Prayoga. And than the textual references. So in that way, we have all been very blessed. I think we owe our gratitude to Dr. V. Raghavan, and I'm very proud to say my grandfather, and the kind of experiences he has given us by enacting and by learning the dance technique as to how to incorporate, and we have been very effective actors, if not for the dance technique provided by my mother Srimati Nandini Ramani prior to her Dr. S.S. Janaki and all that, and we have been guided and mentored so well that we can call ourselves almost a professional actors, I should say. So we owe it to them, and this has been our experience in Sanskrit theatre using dance technique. Thank you so much for the Indian dance experience, for giving us this time to share our experiences and the fun that we have had doing Sanskrit theatre. Thank you and namaskar.
Namaskar.